So first off, to understand how to get what it is you want, we need to first understand that we need the approval from the person that we want it from. Make sense? So typically when we want something like a sale, or we want cooperation, or we want someone to listen to us, we need the approval from the individual that we are engaging with, or people that we're communicating that message to, right? And so how do you do that? Because ultimately what you're doing is you're reverse engineering. And so in order for me to get what I want, I need to get the person that I want it from to approve ultimately my request, right? And so if you take a step back, in order to get their approval, what it really boils down to is you just need to get on their level. You need to get on their wavelength, their frequency. You see, what I've learned in being in sales is that the human psychology, which I refer to also as EQ, emotional intelligence, this is something that we all share. Every single human being shares this quality, shares this specific EQ, right, measurement. And what I'm talking about is each of us communicate within a specific way. So one of the original forms of communication besides voice, right, like, communicating with words, if you go back to, all the way from like the ancient Indians and cowboys, right? The original form of communication before internet, before texting, before phones, before even literally writing probably, is music. So when you really think about it, music is one of the oldest forms of communication. It's been around forever and a day. And music was used to illustrate an emotion. And so, an emotion of love, an emotion of fear, an emotion of hate, emotion of anger, an emotion of sadness. And each one has evolved. So today, now they have what's called genres, right? So R&B, rock, old school rock, hip hop, there's just so many, alternative music. And these particular genres have a sense of rhythm to it, have a sense of an emotion to it. Make sense? Same reason why you can't use like some, let's say, Megadeth hard rock lyrics to, let's say, a Beyonce soundtrack, right? They just don't mingle, they don't mix. Why? Is because the frequency is off. And it's all gonna make sense in just a second, just follow me here. But if you really understand that the form of music is one of the oldest forms of communication, you'll understand a thing that's called primitive instinct. And primitive instinct is something that it's a reaction that we have. So if you think about it, imagine you're going to sleep at home, right? Like you're in your bed, you're about to fall asleep, and then you hear a loud bang inside your living room. Now, immediately your primitive instinct believes you're in danger. So you start thinking of the worst things, ultimately, like, oh, is it an intruder? Do I need protection? What if this person has a gun, right? Well, am I gonna get hurt? Is my family okay? And that's your primitive instinct kicking in, because we are always in kind of fight or flight or survival mode. And in the basic form, the same thing happens when you break it down to how we initially communicate with the person that we're trying to get approval from. You see, usually when we're trying to get approval from somebody, that somebody is a stranger. Otherwise, it'd be very easy for us to get an approval or compliance, because if we knew them, we would already have rapport and somewhat of a relationship in order to kind of make it easier to get that person to do something. Get it? So typically, we usually want to get compliance or approval or a purchase from a stranger. Now, in order to get that though, you need that stranger to approve your request and comply and move forward and take action. And in order for them to get on that level, you need to get on their wavelength. So whatever genre, whatever rhythm that person will most likely identify your message with is going to increase your chance of getting that compliance or getting that purchase. Get it?